We're just going to do a quick video, show you around important bits of your new van. Now, just when you come into the van, over the habitation door, we have a wee control panel. Now the switch on the very right hand side here is your main on-off switch for all your 12 volt, all your lights, say, and everything in the TV and everything. There's a master switch beside it for the water pump. Now you can leave that on all the time as the pump will work automatically. Over on the left hand side here we have our gauges for our battery and our water. So if we push in the bottom of the switch here, it's showing us the engine battery. We can see in the gauge there it's up near 13 volts. And if we push in the top of the switch is our leisure battery, just over 13. And on the just on the right of it is your water gauges. Push in the top is your fresh water tank. With 3/4 full, and down the bottom is your wastewater tank, it's empty. In the center here you have the clock, you can turn it off or on, and your temperature, outside temperature, inside temperature. So that's your control panel. That's more or less it. Now next we have your fridge. You have a three-way fridge, gas, electric and 12 volt. I have an automatic selection in this, so basically you just turn it. If you want to use gas, just turn it over to there and it'll automatically light, it'll do its own thing. If you're plugged into a campsite, if you have mains power, you can turn it to there and it'll work off the mains. And you have a 12 volt setting here, that'll only work when the engine's running or when you're driving. Automatic is the handiest. If we put it to automatic, you can see it automatically went for the gas. If we plug in the mains lead, it'll automatically change and it'll work off the mains, or if you start the engine, it'll go to the battery. It'll select itself as the handiest setting, the automatic. And just on the right of it here we have our temperature control. So you can see it's on max there at the minute, and we turn this dial down, you can see the lights going down to tell you where it is. This wee button here is there's a small heater in the freezer door frame, stops the freezer door sticking closed. If you want, you could have that on or off. With your oven grill controls here beside it. You have an automatic sparker. If we turn this clockwise and just push it in, and it will light the grill now in a second. That's it there. Just keep it held in for a couple of seconds and you're away. Just back up to the top for off and turn it anti-clockwise for the oven. Your heating controls are just opposite the fridge, just underneath the sink. Now you have two knobs here for this. The top knob is your heating and the bottom one is your power source, gas or electric. So the handiest way of working this, if that knob's in the center, it's off. If we turn this up, the handiest way I remember it, the 40 and 60 are your water temperatures. So that'll heat the water up to 60 degrees now. We can see the couple of lights, wee green lights just telling us it's on, and the little orange light is telling us it's on water heating. And when it comes up to temperature, to 60 in this case, the little orange light will go out, the heater will switch off, and it'll come on and off as it's needed. Back to the center is off, and the first one down is heating the van, heating inside the van, the little flame symbol. And this center dial then, the 1 to 5 is your temperature inside the van. And if we turn this down the very bottom, it'll heat both the van and heat the water at the same time. Can be a little red light, it might come on here beside this green one the odd time. That's just telling you there's something wrong. Normally it's out of gas is turned off or something like that. If you're sure you have gas, just turn it off, turn it back on again, and you're away. This bottom one is your power source. Now it's in the middle here at the minute, so it's using gas only, the wee flame. These top ones are your electric settings. If you're plugged in into the mains on the campsite or at the house, you can turn this up and it'll run the heater on a low power electric setting, 900 watt electric. And up the top here is using a higher power electric. It's an 1800 watt electric. Back to the centre for gas. First one down is heating using low power electric and gas, and the bottom one is a high power electric and gas. So the only thing I'd say about that is, if you're heating from cold, if you're heating water from cold, or the van is cold, use the gas to get the heat up. It's a lot quicker, and then you can change it over to electric. It'll keep it warm for you. The heater itself is underneath the wardrobe. I'll just open this wee press here. So you can just see you've gas isolator valves there, and that's the heater in there. The only thing I want to show you in here is this little 2 wee valves here. Now this one on the left with the blue knobs on it is your automatic frost drain. What will happen in the winter, that top will turn across like that, and the wee button comes out here. So to reset that, you just turn that across and just push in the little button. It resets it. It'll hold the water. If you get into the van and the water's running out underneath it, you've no water coming up to your taps, just be if the weather's cold, it'll be the first thing I'll check, is make sure that wind knob on the top is facing front to back in the van, and the little blue button is pushed in. And this little valve beside it, little yellow one, is a drain for the hot water pipes. If you want to drain the van in the winter, and just lift that knob pointing up, and it drains all the hot water pipes in the van for the winter. Now underneath your seats, I'll just have the cushions lifted out of the way, is your fresh water tank. And to drain it, we've got a little black kind of steering wheel. Now if we open that, if we turn that up roughly 3/4 a turn, it'll drain all the water apart from 20 litres, so it'll lighten your load for travelling. And if you open it up 2 turns, it'll drain the water out totally. It'll empty the tank. You've a big bung there if you want to get in. The water pumps inside the tank if you need to get into it or anything. Now your TV's in here. To take out the TV, if we just push this in and slide out the TV, I'll just slide it out now and be back to you. Now your TV will slide out. Now you'll have to retune the TV the odd time. To do that, if we push the menu button, second button down on the left hand side of the remote, brings up that page, and we just use the arrows in the center here, just push down to get into auto tuning, select OK. I changed that top there to DTV just using the right button, and come down to Ireland, press OK, and the TV will retune for you. You'll have to do that as you move around locations. Now the aerial is built in there in the wardrobe, and the only other thing, your trip switches are underneath that shelf in the wardrobe, your mains power trip switches. Your cooker, standard gas cooker, you'll need a lighter or something, but your standard gas valves, if you turn them 1/4 turn, they're on. Just push in the gas valve and light the burner, and once it's lit, keep it held for a couple of seconds and you're away. Now across we have the toilet, leave your shower sink, the sink slides out of the way, and you've these doors will come around for your shower. Your toilet itself, you've a swivel seat in the toilet, so you can turn this out of the way when it's not being used. I have the little blue button on the wall for the flush. Just push that in, it operates the flush. And on the corner of the toilet here we've a wee lever for opening and closing the cassette door into your cassette. I think that's most of inside the van. We'll go out and do a run around the outside now. Just outside the habitation door, there's a wee switch for your step just inside the door here. In and just push the bottom of it for out. And next we have our vents for our fridge. and we're a toilet cassette. Now to work the toilet cassette, if we lift up that little yellow tab underneath it, the cassette will come out. We'll just lift it out of the ground here. Now to empty it, if we turn that neck around, we'll screw off the top. The top's a little measuring cup for your, if you're using the liquid chemical at all. To empty it, just pour it out down the waste point in the campsite or wherever you're pouring it. The wee yellow button on the back is an air vent. If you hold that down as you're emptying it, it lets air in, the whole lot will flow out easier. The cassette will only come out when the door inside is closed. The cassette door lever inside the corner of the toilet is in the closed position. Now next we have our boot space. Just the Bosch TV, new TV in the van. Just your carpets in there. It's just a wee storage locker in there. Now around the other side here, just into the boot again. Now, the back wheel, just behind the back wheel on the left hand side, we have our waste valve here, and there's a little lever on top of it there for emptying. If we turn that in, opens the tank, and just turn it towards the back, it closes the wee valve. Over the wheel you have your exhaust for the heater, and you have your mains plug-in point just in front of it. Now next we have a gas box. Space there for a second bottle if you wanted to carry a spare bottle with you. Just open and close the gas. You've this valve tap on the top of the bottle. Just turn that clockwise to close off the gas. Just turn it anti-clockwise to open it. Just a normal thread. As your water fill on the outside of the van, just underneath the window at the table, stick a hose in there to fill it up. And down here we have our leisure batteries in there, 2 batteries. Just behind the passenger door is your diesel tank, and if we look in here, underneath the passenger seat are your 12-volt fuses for everything in the back. Just take down the front of that and we can just see them inside there behind all those wires. They're all your 12-volt fuses for everything in the back of the van. To open the bonnet, with this lever on the side of the dash just inside the passenger door, and inside here we have a screen wash just on the driver's side, your screen wash, the blue cap at the back, power steering fluid in front of it, and the coolant brake fluid here. Your dipstick is just down in front of the filler, your oil filler if you have to put oil in it. If ever you have to jump start the van, the battery's underneath the floor inside it. If we lift up that little cover there, that's your positive jump lead. Connect your red jump lead, your positive jump lead on there, and there's an air point just beside the headlight here. There's a little air point, and just inside the driver's door here then, your spare wheel kit, wheel jack and wheel blow up kit, spare wheel kit are underneath the driver's seat. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoy it.